Okay, so make a comfortable seat for yourself wherever you find yourself. Right, and part of our allowing our body and our brain and our nervous system to reset is by actually arriving here, right, in this moment. Right, and we have different parts of ourselves that maybe are arriving here. So let's first feel our body arriving so we can literally feel the ground where we land. Whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat on the chair, if there's anything at your backside that's coming in contact, just notice where you come in contact with support. Right, and if it feels comfortable, go ahead. If not yet, allow your gaze to drop down towards the floor or your eyes to close. Right, and then we can notice maybe if our mind is also arriving here, or if we're still kind of trailing in some previous conversations or dialogue today, information. Right, and just allow your whole self to arrive. Right, this is your time. So much of your role is about service and being that support and being that ground to others, especially in these challenging times when most everyone has lost their ground or our full sense of stability, what's known is changing. Even more crucial that we give ourselves these reset times to remember that we are supported. And even if it's just learning that through the physical body and the nervous system, and maybe our mind will catch up later. Right, and maybe notice your breath arriving more fully in your body, not needing to change it. And just notice if slowing down, letting the body get heavy, feeling support, if that influences your breath. Do you have the desire to take a deeper inhale or a longer exhale? Right, or even for some people, noticing the breath makes them feel anxious. So maybe if that's the case, you go back to just noticing your feet on the floor. Find something in this moment that your awareness can land on and just rest for a few moments. Before you open your eyes, just notice even the sense of the room around you, maybe through the temperature of the air and your skin. And even though your eyes are closed, is there still some familiarity in the space where you are that you can even kind of sense where the objects in the room are, the walls, ceiling, the floor? Noticing the wall that's even behind you. Maybe you don't have eyes back there, but can you sense the distance from your body to the wall behind you? And then go ahead and gently allow your eyes to slowly open, start to take in the natural light in the room around you. Alright. So we'll bring some of that mindfulness into the space of our body. So if you're seated in a chair, go ahead and allow yourself to slide a little bit forward so that you're not resting your back on any support now. And see if you can recreate that sense of support without the back of a chair or a wall or anything behind you, letting your feet settle on the floor, let your seat get heavy into the support of the chair, and then maybe rock a little bit forward or back, side to side, so that you're seated on your pelvis where the lift of your spine can be kind of natural. There's not a whole lot of work to hold yourself up right. Right, and as you find that spot where the spine can extend without too much effort, allow your shoulders to relax down away from the ears. They don't have to hold you up. And we're going to take the hands clasped in front of the chest and then start to press out through the heel of the hand, extend through the arms. And we're going to start to press down through the feet in the seat to allow the arms to float up alongside the ears. Right? If the head starts to pop forward, go ahead, keep drawing back through the throat and the ears, the back of the head, and just let the arms come more to an angle. Otherwise, if the head stays back, you can float the arms up. Right? And then as we exhale, we're going to take the arms back down, kind of parallel with the floor. Then we're going to round through the back of the body. So you can start to feel the shoulder blades broaden off the back. Feel the back of the body open. And then when you're ready for an inhale, press down into the feet, start to lift. Maybe let the spine extend a little bit here. Let the sternum lift. You can even let your gaze lift. And then as you exhale, we're going to come back into rounding, opening through the back of the body. And if it makes sense with the breath, maybe find a little rhythm of inhale, opening through the front, and exhale, opening through the back. Maybe one or two more times. Okay, and then next time after your exhale and you round, and you inhale, you come up, flip the palms down towards the top of your head, take the hands to the top of your head, elbows out wide. We're just going to give a little gentle press of the hands down into the head as the head extends up into the hands. And then we're going to slide the hands behind the head. We'll point the elbows forward and then start to draw your head back into your hands. Almost like this is a reset. You're taking a little break here. All right, and then we're going to find a little bit of just gentle movement, maybe side to side. All right, and then when you're ready, go ahead, let your hands release back down to the sides. Hands can rest on the legs if that's more comfortable. Just allow the shoulders to drop down. Notice if a little bit of movement has influenced your breath at all. We're going to walk the feet a little bit wider than our seat. And again, kind of slide a little bit forward on your chair. We're going to take a side bend here. I'm going to lift my left arm. So you can choose, I'm not going to mirror you. So I'll look opposite to you. So right hand can stay on my leg, or even the right hand can slide down the chair. We're going to start to take the side bend again over towards the right. You can keep the arm and the fingers extending, or if you want to take it a little bit more lazy, you can just let the elbow bend and the forearm rest on the top of the head. Okay, and we're just maybe breathing a little bit into the left side, letting the left foot and hips stay heavy. And then we'll come back through center, release the arms. Go ahead, take your hands to the bottom of the ribs and then just notice the area where we stretched. Notice your breath from the left side to the right side. And then we'll move to the other side. So again, hand can stay on the leg or to the side of the chair as we inhale. Get long through the right side body, and then we start to fold a little bit, right? We're not going to kind of crush into the left side body. We're going to keep that a little bit long too. Again, you can extend or you can fold. Just gentle breath into the right side. And then when you're ready, come through center, take the hands back to the low lungs and just notice your breath here. All right, so let's go ahead and actually come out of the chair so you can make your way up standing. We're going to take the chair out in front of us. So you have to have a little bit of room in your space. Okay, and if anyone's ever done yoga on a mat, right, down dog is one of our probably most well-known shapes. And here we're going to create it in the chair where we just walk our feet back so that we can take our torso kind of parallel with the floor. The hands can come to the back of the chair. We're going to kind of plug our arm bones and our shoulders into the sockets. And here, I don't want to let the head drop or even let the belly drop too much. You can kind of lift through the bottom ribs and then reach long out through your seat. So you get a lot of nice space, extension through the low back. You might even rock your seat a little bit side to side here to get a little more space through the low back. Reaching the spine long. And then when you're ready, go ahead, bend the knees, look forward. We'll just gently walk back to the chair. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of calf raises here, get some circulation moving back down through the lower legs. So as we inhale, you can come up onto the balls of the feet, and then exhale, release the heels back down to the floor. Okay, so just a couple times, just moving up and down. Don't have to think too much about it. All right, and then we're going to take our chair to the right outer side of the right hip. I'm going to step my right foot forward and my left toes a little bit back. This front knee is going to bend about 90 degrees. So I just don't want the knee pointing too much over the toes. The knee probably won't like that. And I'm also going to bend the back knee. So I'm more lifted upright. I can keep my right hand on the chair for support. And maybe this is enough. We're getting some space through the front of the left hip flexor. Right? If you want to add to that, you can again reach the left arm up alongside the ear and maybe even take a little bit of that side bend over towards the right that we did seated in the chair. I'm just going to breathe for a moment here. Okay, and then go ahead, come through center. You can step the left foot forward. Find the ground now again. So feel what's supportive and stable underneath your feet. You can again kind of rock a little bit forward and back. Maybe you notice a difference between your left foot and your right foot, your left leg, your right leg. Okay, and then find that even weight where the spine doesn't have to do that much work to rise up. Let the shoulders relax down and maybe even let your gaze settle down towards the floor. So really land and arrive here. We're going to take it back to downward facing dog. So slide that chair out in front or walk yourself behind the chair. As you walk your seat back, walk your feet back, right? Draw kind of the belly and the low ribs in so that you can really reach through the spine. A couple breaths here. And then bending the knees, looking forward, coming back towards the chair. Right? Same thing here, we're gonna inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower the heels down a couple times. Okay, and then we'll either position yourself or position the chairs. I have a floor that is a bare floor, so I can slide. Right, if you have carpet, you might have to just maneuver yourself. And then we did, sorry, we had right foot forward last time. So we're gonna have left foot forward, step the right toes back. All right, left knee is gonna bend at about 90 degrees and then even bend the back knee. Right, so rather than kind of folding forward here, I'm gonna bend the back knee so I can lift. I can keep the engagement through the core. So I really feel the opening of the hip flexor here on the right side. Right, you can stay here. That might be enough sensation, or you can lift the right arm up. Or you can even take the side bend over towards the left, and we can really get into the hip flexor and kind of psoas muscle here that gets quite tight if we're stressed, right? Which can also tighten our diaphragm and lessen the full capacity of our breath, which is then going to influence our nervous system, right? And then go ahead, come back through center, can rock, step the foot forward, find mountain pose again, where we really find our ground, find the support. Notice from right to left. Maybe even the gaze drops down. Allow the shoulders to drop down. All right. So again, maneuver your chair or maneuver yourself to have the seat of the chair facing you. Okay, and then we're going to step the feet wide, toes point forward towards the chair. Right? And I'm going to start to hinge here at the hip. So rather than kind of reaching for the seat of the chair and rounding my low back, right, I'm going to hinge at the hips to bring the hands to the chair. I'm going to keep the spine nice and long. It might start to feel some sensation through the back of the legs, the hamstrings, so that might be enough for you. If you want to move your chair a little bit farther away from you and then walk your hands towards the back of the seat, you can get a little more extension through the spine here, but just taking it to the shape that is the amount of sensation and what works for your low back here. Reaching long through the spine. And then go ahead, take your hands, slide your hands to the front of the chair, take your torso back up to parallel, and then you can slowly come back through center. Okay. And then we'll step the feet together. Take a couple breaths here. All right. I'm going to take the chair out in front of me. I'm going to now with the back of the chair facing me. I'm going to step my feet wide again. I'm going to point my toes open to the left. Okay, and then I can bend my left knee to 90 degrees over the ankle, the heel. And this shape for our lower body is like our warrior two, if you are familiar with a yoga practice. You could keep your hands on the back of the chair. If it works, you can lift the arms and I go no hands with our warrior, pressing down through the feet, allowing the spine to extend up and then reaching through the arms. And then go ahead, take the hands back to the chair. You can lengthen through the left leg, spin the toes in. If you need to step the feet together, go ahead, you can step together and then step them wide again. Otherwise, we'll just open the right foot towards the right. Start to bend that right knee again, staying even on the foot so that the knee is pointing more towards the toes rather than rocking towards the inside of the foot or the floor. And then reach through the back leg, make the legs strong and supportive. And if that's enough support that you can lift the arms and look over the right fingertips for our warrior. Still breathing in, even feeling your breath expanding the low lungs, the low ribs there. Okay, and then go ahead, hands to the chair, you can lengthen, point the toes forward, step the feet together. And then again, we pause, we reset between each shape so that our nervous system can kind of absorb the information. Yeah, I'm gonna take my chair now to the outside of my left hip. I'm gonna step the feet wide again. This time I'm gonna point the left toes towards my chair. I'm gonna start to hinge at the hip to bring the fingertips to the chair. This is our triangle pose. Right, you can keep the right hand on the waist, or you can extend the right arm open. Right, still reaching through the legs here, reaching through the spine and through the arms, out through the fingertips, making space. And then root down through the support of the floor to then bring your spine back upright. You can spin your toes in, step the feet underneath. Right, you might just wanna walk yourself. If you don't need the visual, you can just turn your back to me and take the right foot towards the chair. I'm gonna stay facing you, so I'm gonna actually move my chair to the outside of my right seat. Right, well, walk the feet wide, spin the right toes towards the chair, extend out through the legs to the feet, And then start to hinge, reach for the chair. Right? Rather than letting the torso fold towards the chair, we're going to wrap the right lung underneath. Okay, and then open the arms, or you can keep the left hand on the waist. Think about creating length through all the limbs, the spine. Letting your breath in and out. And then really start to press out through the feet, like you're trying to reach your feet away from you, to slide your torso back up through center. Spin the toes in, step the feet underneath. Right, and then just let your feet come a comfortable distance apart. We're just gonna allow the arms to swing from side to side. Maybe they knock through the front and the back of the body. Right, you can keep your feet grounded here. You can lift the heels and spin on the balls of the feet. You can even kind of look behind you if you want a little more twist. Okay, and then let the movement slowly slow as you come back through center to mountain. Allow your arms to release down to the sides. Allow your gaze to release down to the floor, or maybe even allow your eyes to close. And just notice sensations, breath, temperature, whatever is in this moment. All right, we're going to make our way back to our seat on our chair. Right, once you arrive in your chair, allow yourself to arrive again, right? As many times as we need to. Come back to the sense of the ground. What's supporting you? Okay, we'll add a little bit of a twist here. So I'm going to walk my feet and my knees over towards the right side of my chair. And so my right shoulder is as closest to the back of the chair. Right, and then just a little bit of a gentle twist here. So we're going to twist towards the right. Maybe the hands come to the back of the chair if that's the setup of your chair. And just even though we're in a twist, what makes it a little bit harder to breathe fully, just allow your breath to be natural, breathing in and breathing out. Couple more breaths here in this gentle twist. And on your next exhale, let yourself unwind back towards the knees. Take a moment to pause, notice from side to side. Your spine kind of unwind back through center. And then walk your feet and your knees back to the front of your chair. And then we'll slide over towards the left seat. Okay. Find the ground first, so really find your feet, find your seat, and then allow your spine to lift upright, create space, and then go ahead into that space, into the twist towards the back of the chair. Using the hands for support, allowing the shoulders again to still draw down away from the ears. The head can kind of stay at the center of the sternum, or it can float towards the left collarbone as you breathe in and out. A couple more breaths here. I notice if there's anywhere that's tensing or gripping, that doesn't need to right now. And then your next exhale, slowly unwind back towards the direction of the knees. And then you can walk your feet back towards the front of the chair. And again, we'll slide a little bit forward on the chair. We'll add maybe one last stretch here for our hips. We can, if it works for you, you can step the left ankle to the outside of the right knee. It's crossing. It makes like the shape, the top shape of a 4. Okay, rooting the right foot down to the floor, and then keep a little activity in this left foot. So rather than letting the foot go loose, imagine kind of like you were even standing on the left foot. You can spread the toes a little bit. That's going to help protect the joint of the knee and the hip a little bit more. You can allow your hands to come to the bottom of the chair and just stay upright here. Or you can experiment with hinging a little bit forward. Again, hinging at the hips rather than folding at the low back. Okay, as you come forward, you can take the right hand to the outside of the sole of the foot, the left hand to the outside of the left knee. Give a little bit of a press to keep some stability in the joints for the stretch. And as you come back upright, maybe bend that left knee up into the chest. And then let the left foot come back to the floor. Take a moment to notice side to side. Right, we'll step the right foot, right ankle to the left leg. Right, we'll spread through the right toes a little bit. Again, you can take the hands to the bottom of the chair. Stay upright. Imagine that you're trying to widen the right knee away from you. That might be enough sensation, or folding forward, hinging at the hips. A few breaths here. And then coming back upright, see if you want to bring the right knee back up and in with you, maybe even roll through the ankle a little bit, and then set it back down. Right, find a comfortable place for your hands to rest, find a comfortable place for your gaze to rest, whether that's open and soft or closed. Come back to our mindfulness, feeling yourself in the chair, noticing what sensations are present. And for a moment, just letting go of needing to know anything and just sit in this reset of our nervous system. When you're ready, again, before you open your eyes, sense the space in the room around you. Before you open your eyes, maybe even you can sense the light in the room around you. And then when you're ready, allow your eyes to gently open. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for your practice, your presence today. As you transition out into the rest of your day, I really thank you for joining us and